She went camping, and what the camera caught will terrify you. Lena Whitaker thought she was alone when she went to sleep in the forest. The fire burned low, the camera kept recording, and everything felt quiet. Too quiet. Hours later, when she reviewed the footage, she noticed something standing just beyond the firelight. Not moving, not stepping closer, just watching while she slept. The sound it made wasn't wind, and it wasn't an animal. It stayed there for minutes, then slowly withdrew, like it had made a decision. She woke up safe, but once the video went online, strangers began pointing out details she hadn't seen. Maps, old warnings, and a reason why that campsite was never truly empty. Before we go any further, if this is your first time here, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support means the world and helps us bring you even more powerful stories. Stick with us until the end, and if this mystery moves you, share your thoughts in the comments and pass it along to a friend. Her name was Lena Whitaker, and she didn't look like someone chasing danger. She looked tired, the good kind of tired. The kind that comes after too many weeks of fluorescent lights, buzzing phones, and conversations that never really say anything. Lena had that look people get when they've already left mentally, even if their body is still doing the motions. That's why the decision felt small to her. Just one night, one quiet campsite, one camera rolling while she slept because she liked documenting things. Simple. The road into the forest narrowed without warning. Asphalt turned grainy, then patchy, then vanished altogether. Pine branches leaned inward like they were listening. The air changed too, cooler, sharper, carrying that damp green smell that sits heavy in your nose. Lena rolled down her window, inhaled, and smiled without realizing it. At a gas station 20 miles back, 2 locals had watched her load ice into a cooler. One of them leaned in and muttered something low. The other glanced at the car, then at the forest, then shook his head. "Camping alone?" one asked casually, like he already knew the answer. Lena laughed it off. Everyone always said that. Solo camping had become her thing. Independence. Reset. You know how it is. The man didn't argue. He just raised his eyebrows, said, "Cell service drops quick out there," and went back to stacking firewood. Behind her, someone else whispered, "She won't last the night." It wasn't meant for her ears, but it landed anyway. By the time she reached the campsite, the sun was already dipping low, staining the trees orange, then copper, then that dull gray that comes before everything goes quiet. The place itself looked harmless. A clearing. A fire ring. A picnic table scarred with old carvings and newer cigarette burns. No other cars. No voices. No wind. That should have felt peaceful. Instead, it felt paused. Lena unloaded slowly, stretching her arms, rolling her shoulders. The crunch of gravel under her boots sounded too loud, like it didn't belong. She set up her tent with practiced motions, fingers working on muscle memory while her eyes kept drifting toward the tree line. Not because she saw anything, but because she didn't. No birds, no insects, just the faint creak of trees shifting their weight. She murmured, almost laughing at herself. She set her camera on a small tripod near the fire ring, angled wide. It was habit. She filmed hikes, cooking, night skies. The red indicator light blinked once, steady and calm. Recording. As dusk thickened, the temperature dropped fast. Lena rubbed her hands together, blew warm air into them, then sparked the fire. Flames caught slowly, licking upward, popping soft and friendly. The smell of burning wood settled the nerves she didn't want to admit she had. A car passed somewhere far off. Tires on gravel. Then nothing again. She cooked, ate, scrolled briefly through her phone until the bars disappeared completely. No signal. She didn't mind. That was the point. Still, she checked the camera once more before crawling into her tent. Adjusted the angle just a touch. The forest beyond the firelight looked like a wall, solid black, swallowing detail. Somewhere behind the trees, a sound moved. Not a snap. Not a step. More like a shift. As if something had leaned forward. Lena paused, holding her breath. Nothing followed. She shook her head, zipped the tent, and lay back on her sleeping bag. The nylon crinkled under her weight. Her breath slowed. The fire crackled lower. The camera kept recording, its lens fixed on the space she'd already stopped thinking about. At the edge of the frame, far beyond the fire's glow, something darker than the darkness stood perfectly still, not close enough to be obvious, not far enough to be nothing. And Lena slept through all of it. Morning came in pieces. Light filtered through the tent in thin strips, pale and cold, like it hadn't fully decided to be daytime yet. Lena stirred slowly, the way you do when sleep doesn't quite finish its job. Her fingers flexed against the fabric of the sleeping bag. Stiff. Cold. "Huh," she whispered, blinking. The fire pit outside was nothing but gray ash. No smoke, no warmth, just a ring of stones that looked older in daylight, like they'd been used for things other than comfort. Lena sat up, rubbed her face, and listened. Still no birds. That was the first thing that stuck. Forests were supposed to wake up loud. This one didn't. It just watched. She unzipped the tent and stepped out, boots crunching softly against frost-kissed dirt. Her breath fogged in front of her mouth. The camera was still there, exactly where she left it. Red light off now. Battery intact. She stretched, rolled her neck, laughed quietly at herself. "Guess I survived," she muttered. As she packed, a couple hiking the nearby trail wandered past the clearing. They slowed when they saw her. The woman leaned close to the man and whispered something, not even trying to hide it. "That's the girl who stayed here?" "Yeah, that spot?" They didn't stop. They didn't wave. Just walked on faster than necessary, Lena noticed. Pretended not to. Back home that night, she showered the forest off her skin. Hot water. Steam. Normal sounds. The kind that reset your brain. She ate leftovers straight from the container and finally remembered the footage. The camera sat on her desk, unassuming. Just plastic and glass. No warning labels. She plugged it in, kicked her feet up, and clicked play. The first hour was boring. Exactly what she expected. Firelight flickering. Her moving in and out of frame. Cooking. Laughing at nothing. At one point, she stared into the darkness longer than she remembered doing. She frowned. Don't remember that. Around midnight, the fire dimmed. The forest swallowed the clearing, inch by inch. The camera adjusted, grain thickening as the light dropped. Then, something changed. Not a jump, not a scare. Just a shift. The sound picked up a low movement. Fabric brushing? Leaves compressing? It was subtle enough that she almost missed it. She leaned closer to the screen, fingers resting on the edge of the desk. At the far left of the frame, a shape appeared, not all at once. First, a darker patch of darkness, then a vertical line that didn't sway with the trees. It stood where nothing had stood before, perfectly still. Lena laughed under her breath. Wow, okay. She scrubbed backward, replayed it. Frame by frame. The thing didn't step into view. It was just there. Like it had always been there, and the camera had finally decided to notice. Minutes passed on the footage. The shape remained. Never closer. Never farther. The firelight didn't touch it. Then came the part that made her sit upright. The audio caught breathing. Not hers. Too slow. Too steady. On screen, her tent rustled. She shifted inside, unaware. The thing in the trees leaned forward. Just slightly. Not enough to be obvious. Enough to be intentional. Lena's stomach tightened. She glanced over her shoulder, even though she was alone in her apartment. In the comments section, weeks later, people would argue about what happened next. Some said it was a person. Others swore it was an animal standing upright. A few noticed something worse, that the shadow didn't move like something with joints. On the footage, the breathing stopped. The shape backed away, dissolving into the tree line without ever turning its body. The camera kept rolling for hours after that. Nothing else happened. No attack. No scream. No moment of climax. Just Lena sleeping peacefully while something decided. Not tonight. When she uploaded the clip, she expected jokes. Instead, messages poured in. Why didn't you run? That thing knew you were asleep. Zoom in on the left side at 1 hour 42 minutes and 17 seconds. One comment stood out, buried deep. That area used to be avoided. Not haunted. Claimed. Lena didn't reply. She just stared at the screen, heart tapping slow and heavy, realizing something she couldn't unknow anymore. Whatever had been out there hadn't been curious. It had been patient, and patience meant it could wait again. Lena didn't go back. Not to that forest. Not to any forest like it. At first, she told herself it was just timing. Work got busy. Life filled in the gaps like it always does. But the truth showed up in smaller ways. The way she hesitated before turning off the lights. The way silence made her skin prickle. The way she flinched when her apartment settled at night. She removed the video after 3 days. Not because people stopped watching, but because they wouldn't stop talking. Strangers stitched together old maps, archived ranger notes, half-forgotten forum posts. Someone uploaded a scanned newspaper clipping from the 1970s about campers who relocated suddenly and left everything behind. Another claimed their grandfather had warned them about places that weren't empty, just occupied. In one live stream, 2 men debated the footage like gossip over a fence. That thing didn't hunt her. No, it evaluated her. So why let her go? Who says it did? Lena stopped reading after that. She met with a park official weeks later. Not formally. Off the record. Coffee going cold between them. He watched the footage once, jaw tightening, eyes flicking to the door like it might open on its own. That area's not on any brochure, he said quietly. It's not officially closed either. She asked him why. He didn't answer right away. Just exhaled through his nose and said, because sometimes land doesn't want witnesses. And sometimes it tolerates them. The video never disappeared completely. Copies circulated. Cropped versions. Enhanced versions. People argued about pixels and shadows. Missed the part that mattered. Nothing happened. That was the point. Months later, another camper posted from a different forest. Different state. Similar setup. Comment sections lit up instantly. Don't stay there. Move the camera farther back. Watch the tree line. The wilderness didn't get louder after Lena's video. It got quieter. She still films sometimes. City streets. Rain on windows. Human noise. Things that move the way they're supposed to. When people ask why she stopped camping alone, she shrugs, smiles, keeps it light. Just grew out of it, she says. But late at night, when her phone buzzes with a notification from a stranger who found the original upload, she doesn't open it right away. She lets it sit. Lets the silence prove something. Because she knows now, the camera didn't catch something terrifying because it moved. It was terrifying because it didn't. And whatever stood just beyond the firelight that night is still out there, patient as ever, waiting for another quiet night, another blinking red light, another person who thinks nothing will happen. If you want to see the footage everyone argued over and learn why that campsite was never meant to be used, subscribe now. Some stories don't end when the camera stops recording.